Good morning and welcome to 30 Ways, 30 Days. I'm Susie Jacobs and it is 11:07, which means we get to spend the next 9 minutes together unpacking some of the assumptions that can undermine our confidence and play havoc with our best laid plans. Today I'm coming to you from Tunks Park in a place called Northbridge around Sydney, and as happens with live feeds, suddenly a helicopter is going above us and a truck is parking in the car park next to me. Anyway, it is great to be here. It is day 26 and we're talking about, are you an agile thinker? It's something that I think most of us consider ourselves to be. We hear about the necessity for us to be able to pivot, to be change makers, to be agile in our thinking. And I think if I asked you now, which I will, are you an agile thinker? While we're waiting for a couple more people to join us, give it some thought. Hello, Rebecca. Good morning. Welcome to Tunks Park down in Sydney. Gorgeous part of gorgeous part of Sydney in a place called Northbridge. So we're talking about day 26. Are you an agile thinker? Most of us like to think we are. We talk so much about change management, being able to pivot our businesses, to think differently, to be agile in the way we think about life. So as you ponder that, let me ask you this. Give me a wave or a thumbs up if you consider yourself to be an agile thinker. Pretty adaptable, fairly adept at being able to assess change and adopt your perspective to be able to make the most of a changing environment. If you're a yes, give me a thumbs up. While you answer that, I also want you to consider this. Where do you go shopping? Is it the same place every week? What do you buy? Is it the same brands every week? If you drive to work, not that many of us do that these days, do you take the same route on the way to work? Do you watch the same television programs? Read the same magazines, the same newspapers? You see, so many of us know that intellectually we should be agile in our thinking and being able to adapt to change. But actually, our habits are fairly ingrained. Unless we're going to give it our attention to really put ourselves under the spotlight and test some of our theories about how agile our thinking is, only then are we in a position where we can really lift our game if that's what's needed. Can't read that. I do a bit of different route home from work and a fair bit. Yeah, it's an awesome thing to do, to really change it up. Buy a different newspaper. Read something different. Change the channel. Don't watch that program. Watch something else you dislike. If you usually read sci-fi, read a historical novel. Challenge ourselves to think differently and to be agile. Here's an interesting fact for you. They did some research, and I actually don't have the details, but I will put it in the feed. And it tested the creativity of human beings, I think in the first year of their life, maybe up to age 3. And what they found was 97% of us are creative in the way we approach life. They tested those same people at age 12, and that number had dropped down to, I think, close to 50% of people were still creative. By the time we get to our late teens and early 20s, that number has dropped to a disgraceful 3%. Only 3% of us are being creative in the way we think about life. That is freaking extraordinary. Partly it's because we have a judgment, an idea about what creativity is. Oh, it means you're an artist, you're a songwriter, you're a musician. You're somebody who draws, who sculptors, who does something in the visual arts, the dramatic arts. That makes you a creative. I consider myself creative. I didn't always. I had that old world view of what creativity is, but now here today, I absolutely create. I create every moment in my life. I create my business. I create my marketing. It doesn't mean I do it all, but I am a creator of ideas. And when we're creative, we're open to new ideas. We put judgment to one side and we live from a space of curiosity. So questioning whether you're an agile thinker is worth paying attention. It is worthwhile giving your time. And here's how it relates to practical ideas for how they're living life. When I speak at conferences, one of the questions I'm often asked, in fact, it's probably the question I'm most often asked, is, so what do you do to relieve stress? What's your number one stress relief tactic? And my answer is always the same. I don't have a prescription for you. What I can suggest is that you start learning about yourself. You start getting curious. You start getting creative. You see, each of us, our view of the world is unique as our DNA. Our experience of the world is as unique as our DNA. How are you going to work out what works for you when it comes to relieving stress if you don't give things a go? One of the most beneficial things that you can do is to create a Thrival kit. If you go back and listen to 30 Ways, 30 Days, you'll hear us refer to Thrival kit. If you go to the Change Room podcast, you'll hear us talk every episode about a Thrival kit. It's what you've got in your kit bag at any point in time that is going to allow you to get unstuck, out of overwhelm, away from frustration. And you have this kit of tools, and at any one time you can go to your toolkit and go, yep, I'll use you today, because that's what's happening in my world. Does that make sense? So you're bringing this idea of agile thinking together with creativity, with a toolkit of things that you know work for you, so that anytime you're feeling stuck, frustrated, stressed, unhappy, sad, annoyed, angry, you go, yeah, okay, here's my toolkit. This is what I can do. Now, in that toolkit, you might have exercise, meditation, a great night's sleep, morning pages, seven elements of choice framework. Definitely want that one in there. You build and develop, and at times it ebbs and flows as you go through life. At times meditation may be the perfect tool for you. I always find with morning pages, it's my go-to tool when I've got a lot on, my brain is full, and I need to find a new level of clarity. Morning pages is my go-to toolkit, in my toolkit. So is that making sense? Give me a thumbs up if you're hearing me, if you're understanding. Where I come from is a place of creativity, of consciousness, of giving your attention to the things that matter most to you. Now, that takes time, it takes attention. It requires you to think about things, right? But in that, you can think things through and work out whether it's right for you, whether it is right for your specific view of the world, your uniqueness. And in doing that, you build a bespoke, a tailored approach to your life. That's agile thinking. That's creative thinking. That is being in the game and creating it your way. Bronte's saying, understanding loud and clear, love it. Yeah, it does take your attention. It takes thought. And the question is, do you want the prescription? Or do you want to have the opportunity to reignite your creativity, add a bit of curiosity, and while you're in the process, become the agile thinker that will continue to make you professionally relevant, personally engaging, and personally fulfills, alive, inspired, confident, calm, and conscious. So that's it. Test yourself today. Agile thinkers, yes or no? Do you follow the same route home, buy the same products, watch the same TV show? And if that's you, shake it up. You can actually ignite your curiosity by doing things differently. Just takes a little bit of attention. Yeah? Lift that level of creativity, lift your level of curiosity, and while you're doing that, start experimenting with the different tools that you want in your Thrival kit. So at any time you can't access that level of creativity, consciousness, and agile thinking, you get stuck, happens to all of us. Yeah? Thrival kit. Reach on in. Yep, I'm going to use that today because that's the kind of day I'm having. So give it a go. That's day 26. Testing our assumption that we're an agile thinker. 11:07, tomorrow we do day 27. We're nearing the end of 30 Ways, 30 Days. It's been an absolute joy and a pleasure for me, and I hope it's been really valuable for you. If you're looking for next steps, EQ SWAT, head over to susiejacobs.com. We'll also post the link in the feed. If you are ready to let go of the frustrations, combat stress, ignite your creativity, your curiosity, so you can stay professionally relevant, personally engaged, we have 3 spots left on our September program starting Wednesday the 23rd at 6 p.m. That's next week. If this is speaking to you, if you want a bit of this, let us know. susiejacobs.com, go to the contact page, let us know you're interested, and we'll set up a time to talk. Until I see you tomorrow at 11:07, have a freaking awesome day. Get out there, play with your life. Yeah? Get agile, get curious, get creative. If you want to pass this on, there'll be a watch party at 9:07 tonight, 7:07 tomorrow morning. Otherwise, I'll see you here at 11:07 tomorrow. Goodbye from Tonks Park, Northbridge, New South Wales. See you somewhere tomorrow. Bye for now.